Hello. Hello, hi guys. Hello, hi guys. I hope I'm audible. Waiting for your connection. Yeah. So very good evening to all of you. Due to some certain medical issues, I was not able to give the classes for around 2-3 days. As I promised that I will finish the mock drills this month itself. I will be finishing it in the approximate 4 days. Whole month mock drills of May, June and July have been made, and I hope I am audible to all. Am I audible? The people who are on live chat, they can answer. Am I audible? May mock drill 5. I think I'm audible because the things are coming here. On May 17th, with the second wave of COVID-19 sweeping across the rural areas of Odisha, infections among particularly vulnerable tribal groups, including the Bonda and Dongriya Kon tribes, have increased to 35 within a fortnight. So these Bonda and Dongriya Kon tribes belong to Odisha. This is, thank you Akshita. So Bonda and Dongriya Kon tribes, they belong to Odisha. This can be one question. Odisha's capital is Bhubaneswar. Most of the people know it. What is Bhubaneswar otherwise known as? In the static GK, this can come in. Bhubaneswar is known as the city of temples. CM is Naveen Patnaik. He is holding this post, I think, in my living memory for around 15 years. And governor is Ganeshi Lal. Let's go ahead. On May 17, Bihar CM has launched an exclusive hit COVID app, Home Isolation Tracking. Now, these are the news because there were a lot of mock drills that were pending. So this is the news that have come in. Around on 23rd July, the CLAT examination took place, and in that, around 3 passages were on COVID itself. So kindly don't underestimate the information related to COVID. So Bihar's capital is Patna, CM is Nitish Kumar, governor is Fagu Chauhan. Reliance Jio is constructing 2 largest international submarine cable systems, IAX and IEX, centered on India. This headquarters of Reliance Jio is in Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. CEO is Pravir Kumar. Now, these cable names are very important: India Asia Express and India Europe Express. Why this is important? Because the cables make and give instant and fast connectivity, right? There is one method of like satellite connectivity, but the cables with optical fibers are the largest source of connectivity right now. Even Google and Amazon are building, Facebook are building their own cables which will connect North America to Singapore and Southeast Asia. Edelweiss General Insurance has launched their first IPOS, that is Integrated Partner Onboarding Solution. What is Edelweiss? Edelweiss is a famous insurance company. Edelweiss, IFCO Tokyo, they come in with this insurance company products. Very important company. We have this company's office right above our house. So headquarters of EDI is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. CEO and Executive Director is Shanai Ghosh. Andhra Pradesh government has issued orders for the establishment of 10 anti-human trafficking units. So what is this anti-human trafficking? This is basically if you are trafficking a person for sexual use or for bonded labor use, basically for sexual use, this is called trafficking. Most of the people that come in their grip, like the pimp's grip, are people who are very poor or people who are misled in the name of marriage. So in addition to the 3 existing units which exist in West Godavari, Guntur and Anantapur, the government has declared all AHTUs as police station and will be housed in Disha police station in the respective districts. So Andhra Pradesh has issued order for the establishment of 10 anti-human trafficking units. Existing 3 states units in the state are West Godavari, Anantapur and Guntur and Anantapur. Andhra Pradesh capital is Amravati, Vishakhapatnam is the executive capital and Kurnool is the judicial capital. Now this information keeps on repeating again and again in all the mock drills. The answer for this, like 3 capitals and 3 different capitals, is because Andhra Pradesh separated and Telangana was separated from it. So that's why there are 3 capitals. Sooner or later they will be merged into one for administrative efficiency, but for these 10 years, I think after 2014 there was some arrangement. So CM is Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy, Governor is Vishwa Bhushan Harichandan. Haryana has declared the black fungus as a notified disease in the state, and they declared it. Punjab has also declared it. Haryana's capital is Chandigarh. CM is Manohar Lal Khattar. Governor is Satyadev Narayan Arya. Let's go ahead. On May 16th, Amazon has launched a new video streamlining called Mini TV. Now, let me give a very, very simple example. TikTok was banned. So Instagram realized that there is this time, so they released their Instagram Reels. YouTube also recognizes that India is a major partner, so they have released Shorts, YouTube Shorts. Why is this being done? First is that the innate need of Indians to project themselves as actors. This leads to a lot of people making videos which are of substandard quality, but they think themselves as Shah Rukh Khans or Hrithik Roshans of their era. The second reason is that the lack of attention, because most of the people in India are not given the attention by their parents or their relatives or the peers, so that builds up that attention deficit syndrome. And the third thing that comes is the core business principle. Now this is very important. By promoting short-term attention, people take, like these big companies take a person towards their products and they go for impulsive trading. That's why Amazon have launched this new video streamlining called Mini TV, and they will also be launching. Jio is also launching their products via TV. Headquarters of Amazon is in Seattle, USA. President is Jeff Bezos and NDJC from October 21. Let's go ahead. So Hazaribagh, Jharkhand has become the 6,000th railway station in India to get the Wi-Fi facility, and Mumbai has become the first station where Wi-Fi was provided in January 2016. So in the foreign nations, Wi-Fi is a basic necessity. Even in the Supreme Court judgments of the foreign nation, it has been said that internet is now very necessary. It's just like electricity. So internet has to be provided, and Hazaribagh has become the 6,000th railway station. Hazaribagh is in Jharkhand. Questions can come in like this. Hazaribagh is located in which state? Hazaribagh is in news due to what of the following factors? It is a 6,000 railway station to get Wi-Fi. Jharkhand has capital like Ranchi. So basic people will be able to answer these kind of simple questions. And CM is Hemant Soren, Governor is Draupadi Murmu. Let's go ahead. On May 17th, my government plus Department of Higher Education have launched an innovation challenge for creating an Indian language learning app. So my government, a citizen engagement platforming of GOI, launched in 2014. Right? So very, very important, and it's just like that. These are one-liner questions. If you revise the mock drills 2 times, I don't think so that there will be any problem in solving the MCQs. On May 11th, SEBI has reviewed the regulatory framework of promoter group and group companies. Now, why is this SEBI always in news? Because first of all, Security Exchange Board of India, they deal with the markets related to commodity derivative, shares, tradings, fraud in companies. And this promoter, independent director, everything is regulated by them and their rules. So they check whether the company is following all the rules and or whether they are not doing internal trading. So let us say that I have to lower down the shares and one person in the board of directors is leaking the information outside. So these are the functions of the SEBI. Very important organization. Headquarters is in Mumbai. Ajay Tyagi, I think the last time I checked, was the head of this organization. Headquarters of, see it's here. Ajay Tyagi is the chairman. Headquarters of SEBI is in Mumbai, Maharashtra, established in the year 1992. So CBIC, again, customs import of goods at concessional rate of duty they have the new amendment rules 2021, and they will have a single portal. So the only thing that you have to remember from this GK is that they are going to have a single portal, that is iSkate portal, right? And imported goods will be permitted to send out for job works. Headquarters of CBIC is in New Delhi. Chairperson is M. Ajit Kumar. It was founded in the year 1964. Let's go ahead. Thank you, Dhyaneshwar Iyer. Thank you for the praise. After Madhya Pradesh and Delhi government, Andhra Pradesh has announced to create a fixed deposit of 10 lakh rupees for every child who lost both their parents due to COVID-19 infection. There will be a fixed deposit until the child turns 25. Now this is a very, very important thing which was done by the government, as well as the PM also did something that they will get some money at the age of 23. Now, what happens when you are when a person is an orphan is that he loses financial security. Like if I say, like most of you will be jealous, like if some of the friends of yours are from a very rich background, then they have the financial security to achieve their dreams, which you could not, because you have to support your family, or you have to see to yourself that your father is supported or mother is supported. People will say, though, we are not jealous about our friends or maybe relatives or any other outsider people, but the general thing is that yeah, if we are deficient in something, that naturally leads to that. Or there can be another thing, that people there are financially rich and you have this urge that okay, I'll be financially rich too. There can only be two things in this. Now the thing is that people who are orphan, they will lose all the financial security and they will lose the courage also to face the world. So this financial security thing is the most beneficial thing that is done by the government. Very, very important. Andhra Pradesh capital Amravati, again the same thing, Amravati, Visakhapatnam and Kurnool. YS Jagan Mohan Reddy is the CM, governor is Bishwa Bhushan Harichandan. Let's go ahead. Ministry of State Social Justice has started state-wise call centers called Elder Line Project for elderly persons, and the earlier minister was Thawar Chand Gehlot. Now he is not the minister. He has now, I think, been made the Karnataka governor. So Elder Line Project. Now there is another more thing, that at least in the Hindu religion, it has been said that we have to treat parents as somebody who are equal to gods. And we have to serve them at least in their old age, because they served us in the younger age. But due to the constant influx of, let us say, Western education system, as well as the evading of the responsibility, this has grown into a pandemic when people are leaving their parents and going outside and not coming back, or leaving their parents with their, let us say, servants, and inviting a disaster by, like, let us say, theft or robbery or dacoity, in which mostly the elder parents are killed. They don't take their parents because they consider them a liability. So that's why, to mitigate that, Elder Line Project has been launched. ICMR has dropped the plasma therapy from the recommended treatment guidelines for COVID-19, and see, you can see it here. Earlier it was very much like, let us say, projected that it is the greatest therapy that has come up and this is good, but now they have been dropped. The West Bengal government will set up a legislative council, that is Vidhan Parishad, and West Bengal's capital is Kolkata. CM is Mamata Banerjee, governor is Jagdeep Dhankar. Now, what is legislative council? Can you anybody tell me? Now the answer is that the legislative council is basically a council in which all the near and dear ones of the ministers, as well as the chief minister, as well as the ruling government, are placed, because they want that they are placed there if they are not of the rank of cabinet minister. Now let us say that you are given Minister of Power or Ministry of, let us say, local urban and urban affair body. You are a very important person in the West Bengal or any other state. But let us say that you were only a candidate for, let us say, Jila Parishad, and you have not won it. So you will be sent to council, legislative council, to placate your ego that okay, you are also a very important person of our party and you have served us well. So there are two houses, legislative assembly, this is in all the states, and there is legislative council, this is in some of the states. Like in J&K it used to be there, but now it stands abolished. It is in UP, and only 1/3 members of, like, let us say, only 1/3 members of the total strength of legislative assembly can become, like, total strength can be that. This is not mandatory. The state government can pass a resolution. Why it is not mandatory? Because, yeah, similar to Rajya Sabha. Why is it not mandatory? The answer is that because it leads to expenses. Like, we have a very small state, Himachal Pradesh, and we cannot afford a legislative council because it will lead to like 300 crores per year more expenditure, 400 crores, 500 crores. So that's why it's not there. NCPR is providing telecounseling to children through Samvedana, a toll-free helpline, and the full form of Samvedana. Also, like, sensitizing action on mental health vulnerability through emotional development and necessary acceptance. Do you know that why this, like, all these keywords come in? Because all the government is totally infatuated by Mr. Modi's scheme of, like, naming and scheming things. So automatically I don't have any grudges against Mr. Modi, but the thing is that it increases our GK a lot. Because now you have to remember each word, some, sensitizing, action on mental health, vulnerability through emotional development and necessary acceptance. It could have been an easier scheme otherwise to remember that it is providing telecounseling to children. So this scheming, naming and scheming things actually came from this Narendra Modi government's time, because he has this thing like I should name it in acronyms or I should give small names. So headquarter of NCPCR is in New Delhi. Chairman is Priyanka Konungu. Maharashtra has approved a proposal to set up a National Institute of Medicinal Plants over 50 acres in Sindhudurg. Maharashtra CM is Uddhav Thackeray, Governor is Bhagat Singh Koshari. Now these medicinal plants, I will just give you a very small detail that because we feel that we are inferior in our language. Like if I start speaking, this is an English session, but let us say if I start speaking in Hindi, okay, मेरा नाम रोहित शर्मा है, मैं अपने बैंक में अकाउंट में खाता खुलवाना चाहता हूँ, तो naturally जो हमारा inferiority complex है वो वहाँ पे आ जाता है. But if I say, let us say I am Rohit Sharma, I am from this college and I want to open a bank account, the bank person will take me seriously, even the interviewer takes me seriously, and that's a very sad spectacle. So in all the other countries like Brazil, Japan, they learn 3 or 4 languages, but they give prominence to their Matrabhashas. So Maharashtra has approved this proposal to set up the National Institute of Medicinal Plants, and this will be very, very important. And I think the Jharkhand governor must have changed Archana. This mock drill is quite old. So you can change the ministers as well as the governors on your own. I have not changed them. Now the thing is that National Institute of Medicinal Plants is very important. Reason is that it gives importance to our own therapies, it gives importance to our own knowledge systems. If we don't respect our own ancestors, nobody will respect them, and we make a fool of ourselves. So like the system of yoga, until unless it was not accepted by America or Europe, we did not accept it. Even if I remember, Sitaram Yechuri said that yoga is done by dogs on 4 legs. So yeah, that's very important that we do respect that, and this National Institute of Medicinal Plants will hold a great significance in the coming times. So Ministry of Culture has announced that 6 Indian sites, including the temples of Kanchipuram in Tamil Nadu, Ganga Ghat in Varanasi, Satpura Tiger Range Reserve, have been added to India's tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Again, that it comes is that we want a foreign tag or a foreign thing to come up. Now UNESCO World Heritage Sites are nothing but actually they are used for tourist verification or for earning more revenue. So Satpura Tiger Reserve, Ghats of Varanasi, megalithic site of Heribenkal, Maratha military architecture, Beda Ghat, Lamet Ghat, and this makes UNESCO's total heritage sites in India to 38. Most self-respecting nations don't take UNESCO, like America pulled out of UNESCO. Israel pulled out of UNESCO because they said that UNESCO is not accepting Israel's dominance over Jerusalem. But we give all access to our ancient temples also to UNESCO so that they can make it to tourist spots. That was not the original purpose of the makers of those temples. The makers of those temples wanted the puja and archana to be done on those temples, not to make it as tourist spots where people can come and litter and spread their, like, let us say, polythenes and everything else. So whenever you study GK, most people ask me, like, how should I study GK? You study GK from the relevance of India. Like, okay, what is happening in our country? Not from the perspective, okay, from the perspective of banking exams too, but like from the perspective, like what can be the relevance of it? Or what is the hidden intention behind it? Yeah, so it's very important. I will not say that Western culture is uprooting us. Basically, we don't give any relevance to our own culture or anything related to that. That's why there is problem. So My Lab Discovery Solution has received ICMR's approval for India's first home test kit CoviSelf. Result in 15 minutes, price rupees 250. So ICMR has approval for India's first home test kits CoviSelf. That's it. Headquarter of My Lab Discovery is in Lonavala, Maharashtra. MD is Hansmukh Rawal. CEO is Rahul Patil. Let's go ahead. Cultural exchange program was held between India and Mongolia, and that stands renewed up till 2023, and India is going to contribute hundreds sets of sacred Mongolian Ganjur by 2022. Mongolia's capital is Ulaanbaatar. Mongolia Torogrog is the president is Khalamatin Butuluga. Mongolia Torogrog is the currency. Now the answer is that what is the speciality of Mongolia? Can you give me the countries any specific? The answer is that Mongolia is sandwiched between China as well as Russia. It's a landlocked country. We hold normally great relations with Mongolia, and Mongols were very fearsome and they used to evoke fear in the 13th and the 14th century when Genghis Khan's rule was at the zenith. Russia has formally designated the US and Czech Republic as unfriendly states. So this is nothing new. Cold War continues till today. And Russia's capital Moscow, Russian ruble currency, PM Mikhail Mishustin, President Vladimir Putin. So this is just like that. Czech Republic is Parag Koruna, President is Milos Zeman. China has become the first country in the world to become all synthetic cannabinoid substances. China's capital is Beijing, renminbi is currency, President is Xi Jinping. Iran has unveiled the strongest supercomputer named Simog, and it was domestically developed by the American University of Technology, Tehran. Tehran is the capital of Iran. Rial is currency. President is Hassan Rouhani. US has formed a public-private partnership called Global Task Force on Pandemic Response, and this is just nothing but like after effects of COVID. So they have formed a task force so that there is no problem with that. But the real action would have come if they would have banned China, or they would have imposed costs on China for giving this kind of disease to India. India's ONGC Videsh Limited has discovered Faraz B gas field in Iran, and Iran's capital is Tehran. Riyal, again the same thing. Faraz B gas field in the Persian Gulf, discovered by ONGC Videsh Limited, right? Cyclone Yas has expected to start forming in Bay of Bengal. Name is given by Oman. Oman's capital is Muscat. Riyal is the currency. Sultan is Haytham bin Tariq Al Said. A76 is the world's largest iceberg, and it has split off the western side of the Ron ice shelf in Antarctica's Weddell Sea. So A76, that's the only thing that you need to remember. Let's go ahead. Coming to banking and economic affairs, as I said that SEBI has approved an elaborate framework for setting up the gold exchange in India. They have suggested that gold to be traded in the form of electronic gold receipt. Headquarters of SEBI is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Chairman is Ajay Tyagi, established in the year 1992. RBI has imposed a penalty of Rs 1 lakh on Priyadarshini Mahila Nagar Sahakari Bank, and headquarters of RBI is in Mumbai, Governor Shaktikanta Das. Now, the thing is that most of the Sahakari banks or most of the cooperative banks have failed in the recent times. And the answer is not generally because of their, let us say, malfunctioning, but also because of the COVID. Most people have not made the relation. I've seen current affair videos. Most people have not made the relation. But the thing is that who deposits money in cooperative banks? Not the rich person, not the ultra rich person. They deposit in shares, they deposit in commodity, they deposit in derivatives. Who deposits in this cooperative bank? The poor people, or the people who are street vendors, or the people who are saving money, or the people who don't know how to beat inflation. So they invest in it, the lower class people in the economic section. And what happened to them in the COVID times? The answer was that they were devastated. So that's why these kind of penalties, and most of the Sahakari banks in Maharashtra have failed. SBI plus Hyperverge have partnered to form the video KYC solution. Headquarters of SBI Bank is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Chairman is Dinesh Kumar Khara. Headquarters of Hyperverge is in California, USA. CEO is Kedar Kulkarni. On May 19th, IDBI Bank has launched its fully digitized loan processing system, offering over 50 products to micro, small and medium enterprises and agriculture sector. Now this is very, very important. The answer is that this fully digitized loan system will save the MSME sector from the clutches of, let us say, very, very shrewd money lenders, because most of the time MSME take money from those kind of lenders who charge extreme amount of interest. HSBC India has launched two new first of its kind digital banking solution, HSBC SmartServe and HSBC IntelliSign. Normally these kind of questions don't come, but this is just that in case it comes, then this is very important, and they will ensure quick, secure and seamless onboarding process for corporate clients. So that's why it will not come, because most of the news related to the corporate clients as such from the bigger bank like HSBC does not get that much traction in the examination. News related to RBI, SEBI, SBI, that will get much more traction, because ultimately you are not getting to get recruited in HSBC, you are getting to get recruited in SBI, RBI, like these kind of organizations. So let's go. Headquarters of RBI is in Mumbai. Governor is Shaktikanta Das, established in the year 1st April 1935. And what they have done is that they have mandated regulatory guidelines for prepaid instrument issuers. Department of Ayush has launched the Vaidya Aapke Dwar scheme in Madhya Pradesh. Ayurveda, homeopathy and Unani can be availed under the scheme. Madhya Pradesh capital is Bhopal. CM is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Governor is Anandiben Patel. Arjun Singh Bhullar has become the first Indian origin fighter to win an MMA World Champion title, mixed martial artist. Now this MMA, I hope you know, Conor McGregor is from this sport, and he was the ultimate winner in the past years, and now he has been displaced by some other fighter. Very, very important, very, very deadly. Even if you have played the SmackDown Pain, most of you would have, and there was this Brock Lesnar. I hope everybody knows Brock Lesnar. Right, Brock Lesnar, I guess everybody knows, the person who used to give an F5, like the revolving smack. So Brock Lesnar participated in MMA, and after 1 or 1.5 years he just left it because that was too much for him also. MMA is complete agility, strength, endurance, and the ability to get hit and hit again. So yeah, that's Brock Lesnar for you, and he left MMA because he was not that successful. Yeah, Sonu, please tell me. India has topped the annual ICC Test team rankings, followed by New Zealand and England. Ravichandran Ashwin is the second only bowler to feature in the top ICC ranking in the Test format. Now, I will say that you have to update your this Test rankings and everything like just before the exams, because if the question can come in, it can come only in that manner. Normally, these kind of questions don't come because they are updated every month now by the ICC. Barcelona FC, my favorite football club, has won the UEFA Women's Champion League 2021, beating Chelsea Football Club. I think like these kind of women are only made in Europe. Like they play football and they are like totally fit and they have this complete knowledge of football, and they are also players. They are the best team in football is USA by a far margin in women football teams, and it has beaten Chelsea Football Club. So Barcelona is again in news. Both men's club as well as women clubs remains in news. Yeah, Sonu, we can talk after the class. I think I'll be able to better answer. It's just like 60 more points and we will be doing it. Yeah, because Vishal, ultimately these kind of women are not like found in, at least I have not found them in like even in the top law schools that I've gone, that people don't have this. They will say that we love Cristiano Ronaldo, but not much game knowledge, like 4-4-2-1, or who plays in the mid, who plays in the center. Ultimately, you are getting a girl who plays football. So that's like too much crush feeling. So NBA has announced the creation of a new award, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion Award, and this is for social justice. So yeah, this is related to social justice. Headquarters of NBA is in New York, USA. Satnam Huller, Indian player, was in the news because he was picked by the NBA, I think quite earlier. CEO is Adam Silver. So NBA's Professional Basketball League, if you know that Mr. Kobe died out of this helicopter crash. Very, very intense physical game. Most of the basketball players are very famous, and it's the most, like the second most popular game in USA after that baseball. Baseball and soccer. Like baseball and soccer, I think they hold the national, they win national championships. They win the Olympic championships always, all the time. USA's team. International Museum Day. So that's great, Archana Saji, Manchester United. International Museum Day is observed on May 18 every year to raise awareness among people about the museums. This is the future of museums, recover and reimagine. The day was first held in 1977. Museums are very important. Why? Because number one, that history repeats itself. So it has to be collected and restored. The knowledge that is in history can be used by the opponents, so it's better that you use it. Now there's a very important incident that I will tell you with this history thing. When Gary Kasparov was asked, I think Gary Kasparov was asked like, why is Magnus Carlsen that great a player? So he said that Magnus Carlsen has the combined history of my games, my opponent's games, the games of my contemporaries, and he has that in a book and in a computer, and he has memorized them. So naturally he will be a better player because he has memorized them, and chess players have fantastic memories. They can even play blindfolded and they know the games, like they know the pieces, like what happened here, what happened there, what happened here, what happened there. So that was a very important comment by Gary Kasparov, that Magnus Carlsen is the greatest player right now because he has the experience of all the past players. Now earlier I think we did it in GK that Abhinav Mishra, Indian American, he has become he's become the youngest grandmaster with 2500 ELO rating. Why so? Because again Abhinav Mishra in 12 years, I think in 12 years he has done, 15 years I think, or 12 years he has done, I don't remember exactly, kindly check it. Abhinav Mishra from Indian American. So he has done it in He's broken the record. And why he has done it? Because again, he has that historical experience. He has all those games charted out for him. So May 18 is the International Museum Day. The theme is Future of Museums, Recover and Reimagine. So May 18 is the World AIDS Vaccine Day. HIV is Human Immunodeficiency Virus. The first thing is that why this AIDS virus came, it was related to chimpanzees and that like human interactions. Most of the time, like the sexual activity between men and women of the lower strata of the society is not a protected one. So it's a sad spectacle. Let us that you are going from Ambala to Delhi, and you will have a lot of brothels coming in between where sexual activity is available for 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 100 and 200 rupees. Truck drivers indulge in it, and most of the time it is not. It is without protection. So it leads to that AIDS thing going on and on. Apart from it, a lot of STDs like syphilis, gonorrhea, these kind of things happen if you are having sexual intercourse with a lot of partners in a very small short of span of time, or with an infected person even after a long gap. So it's very important that these kind of diseases are wiped out by number one, education, by number two, minimizing sexual contact with the person whom you don't know, right? So yeah, Archana, I am impressed by your knowledge, if that's the thing that you wish to hear. So May 20, naturally I am, because you know about Magnus also, you have stated a correct fact. So May 20 is the World Meteorology Day. Theme is Measurement for Health. Meteorology Convention was signed by 17 nations on 20th May 1875 in Paris, France. So yeah, it's a meter convention was there. It was by 17 nations. Thank you, Vishal. Now my entire focus, like those who are live, is that I will be entirely live on this GK sessions. I will be completing all these like mock drills which are pending from May, June, July. Because I had some students here, they have scored fantastic in their GK section in CLAT. So one, I had mouth ulcers, I couldn't give lectures. I promised on Saturday. I think Archana remembers. But I couldn't do because my mouth ulcers like deteriorated. There were around 3 of them. So I think that happened because I ate too much pizzas. So now it will be complete GK sessions. Yeah, thank you, Vishal. Thank you very much. So May 20th is the World Bee Day. Theme is Be Engaged, Build Back Better for Bees. Einstein once famously said that if the bees are lost, like there is no bee left, then in 4 days the whole world, like with the world which we know, will end. And why is that? Because he said that if the pollination stops, then the whole that ecological system will collapse, and that bees help a lot in that. So May 20 is the World Bee Day since 2017. Very, very, very important. Very, very important, right? So let's go ahead. Meeting, conferences and summit. So let's go ahead. Indian Navy has hosted the Goa Maritime Symposium GMS under the aegis of Naval War College, Goa. Now there is one important tip that I will give to everybody who is doing mock drills from this Smartkeeda. If you don't have the time to read that full paragraph which comes from like here to here, in the second reading, I recommend that you read it in the first reading. In the second reading, you can just go with the key points. So 8 mock drills can be done in a span of, let us say that you are completing 1 month as a goal. How can you do those 8 mock drills? You can complete it in around 3 days. You can complete it in 3 days, like if you have the capacity to sit at one place, right? योगा के अंदर जैसे हमें बताते हैं ना कि योगा कैसे स्टार्ट होता है, अथ योग अनुशासनम, एंड हियर बिकम्स द डिसिप्लिन ऑफ योगा. पतंजलि ने अपने योग सूत्र में ऐसे नहीं स्टार्ट किया कि योगा आपको मतलब पसीना दिलवाएगा, और हॉट योगा, सेक्स योगा, बियर योगा, ये सब तो वेस्टर्न का वो है. योगा में पतंजलि सूत्र में डायरेक्ट लिखा अथ योग अनुशासनम. Here begins the discipline of yoga, where you can unite yourself, where you can unite your consciousness with the world consciousness. So the thing with this is that if you are disciplined, you can complete it in 3 days. Flat 3 days you can complete 1 month. And Sonu, if you are hearing, in around 7 days, like let us say 7 days, you can complete around 3 months. In around 14 days, you can complete around 6 months, which is more than relevant. Right? So Atha Yoga Anushasanam, that is, yoga is discipline. V. Muralidharan represented India at the Summit on Financing African Economies. This was hosted by France. France capital is Paris, currency is Euro. President is Emmanuel Macron and PM is Jean Castex. So very, very important. Thank you Archana. So President is Emmanuel Macron and PM is Jean Castex. lot of friends came over, and like the students were having a farewell, so I had to give them treats. So I was giving them treats and I was having treats myself also. Then my lips said that enough of treats, so I was doing betadine gargles for a long time. I felt bad because Archana, I promised that I will be taking classes. I couldn't, so I'm taking now. So Andrea Meza crowned the 69th Miss Universe at the competition held in Florida, US. Mexico City, peso is the currency. President is Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. So beauty is very much respected. Most of the people will say that beauty is not respected and like hard work करेंगे तो सब हो जाएगा और ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. But then फिर why are beautiful women always with successful men? Like this is a psychological question that can come in. And most people will say they are trophy women, या वो काम नहीं करती हैं या वैसा वैसा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. अगर आप अपने टेक्स्ट ही उठाएंगे तो आप पाएंगे सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम. ट्रुथ इज powerful. Shivam, that is Shiva, is all powerful, and beauty is always respected. Across the culture it has been respected. So like if you will give even women the option of choosing an ugly man and a good smart handsome looking man, they will choose the good and smart handsome looking man. I have stopped eating. The answer is because beauty is powerful, and it is given in our texts and scriptures, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. So she has been crowned as the 69th Miss Universe at the competition held in Florida, USA. Why are most people, like if you will say to most of the girls and the boys, like how much you rate yourself, most of the people will say I rate myself an 8, 9, even if they are 4 or 3, because there is that thing, like they consider themselves beautiful even if they are not. So Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank conferred with the International Invincible Gold Medal by Maharishi Organization. Now where is Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank right now? He has been sacked by the government. Why am I saying this? The answer is that these kind of awards, ceremonies, they are all ceremonial in nature. How much prizes that worthless minister called Harshvardhan was given? How did he manage COVID? He was making those schemes, Modi Tujhe Salam, in February. When you know that in January and in February, America and Europe are under the influence of the second wave, why didn't you take steps to stop the second wave? You were raising programs, you were giving 6 crore vaccines to outside people. You were not saying कि भाई अपनी चादर है जितना उतना ही पैर फंसा रहो, जितना कि हम मतलब उतना ही करें जितना हम अपने नेशन के लिए कर सकते हैं. वो 6 करोड़ वैक्सीन्स की वजह से I lost almost 2 of my relatives, and my students lost like 1 relative, 2 relatives, like that. So not at all important. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Kushal Kaushik has bagged the super prestigious Glory of India Award 2020 by the Indian Achiever Forum. This is given to professionals and veterans. I don't think so that this is a very important GK. Just leave it. Sankar Balasubramanian and Devin Kleinerman, winners of the Millennium Technology Prize 2020 by TAF. So this TAF is Technology Academy Finland for the development of revolutionary sequencing techniques. So if you can see it here, like even here we have that inferiority thing, that if they are even honored by a foreign university, we make them as news, and you have to remember it as the Indian native. Like okay, remember it. उसको क्यों मिला, उसको कैसे मिला, कहाँ से मिला, चाहे वो इन्फॉर्मेशन जैसे उसकी कुछ खास यूजफुल ना हो, बट हमें रिमेंबर करना पड़ता है उस चीज़ को. So let's go ahead. Appointments and resignations, very important. Mokhtar Ouen reappointed as the Prime Minister of Mali. Mali की CFA frank currency है, Bamako capital है, President Baha Nodao है, PM Mokhtar Ouen है. Prime Minister Republic of Congo के कौन है? न्यू है. टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स आर इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर सेबी क्लर्क मेंस. हाँ डियर, पता है क्या होता है, जैसे ऑनलाइन एग्जाम जो होते हैं ना, उसमें तो यार रिसेंटली कुछ भी डाल सकते हैं. अब मुझे नहीं लगता कि ऑफलाइन करवाता है IBPS, तो ऑनलाइन एग्जाम में तो आप 3 दिन पहले डाल सकते हैं, क्योंकि उनका डाटाबेस ना अपडेट हो रहा होता है. तो तरुण साका अगर आपका क्वेश्चन में दूंगा तो जो भी 3 दिन पहले 4 दिन पहले तक हुआ है वो सब इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. एंटोनेल कोलिटो मोकोसो अपॉइंटेड एज द न्यू प्राइम मिनिस्टर रिपब्लिक ऑफ कोंगो. CFA फ्रैंक करेंसी है, प्रेसिडेंट डेनिस ससू नगोजो है, PM एंटोले कोलिनेट मोकोजो है. ये रिमेंबर करना है आपको एज इट इज. नीरा टंडन अपॉइंटेड एज द सीनियर एडवाइजर टू US प्रेसिडेंट जो बाइडन. Yeah. And Tarun Saka and everybody who's listening, why to leave points in GK? It's so easy. It's like you have to just relate it with stuff. आप उसको इंडियन के रेलिवेंस के साथ देखा करो ना, कि ये इंडिया रेलिवेंस के साथ हम देखते हैं. इंडिया की रेलिवेंस के साथ आप देखा करो, उसको फिर मज़ा आता है. जब आपकी अपने मतलब धर्म के प्रति और राष्ट्र के प्रति भक्ति हो जाती है ना जब अपनी, तो फिर आराम से आप देख सकते हैं उस चीज़ों को कि इसका क्या रेलिवेंस पड़ेगा, इसका क्या रेलिवेंस पड़ेगा। जो बाइडन अगर बना है तो क्या रेलिवेंस पड़ेगा, अगर अपना डोनाल्ड ट्रंप पढ़ा है तो उसका क्या रेलिवेंस बनेगा। फिर मज़ा आता है जीके पढ़ने में। अगर आप चाहते हैं ना कि आपको याद रहे, उसको रेलिवेंटली अपने माइंड में रिलेट करो, आप उस पर चर्न करो। क्योंकि पहले होता है जैसे आप पढ़ते हैं, मनन होता है, फिर उस पर चिंतन होता है, फिर वो याद होता है। आप चाहते हैं कि बस मैंने पढ़ लिया और मेरे को सब कुछ याद हो, ऐसे नहीं होता। पढ़ा, मनन किया, उस पर सोचा, फिर चिंतन, उससे और भी मतलब वो हो गया, सिनोनिम भी कह सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे और एक वर्ड ज़्यादा चले गए आप आगे। यू फोकस्ड ऑन इट, कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड ऑन इट, and then you like meditated on it, and then you learn it. That's how it's done. Sahid Jamil resigned from the post of chairman of the advisory group to the INSECOG, Insignian SARS-CoV-2 Genomic Consortia, a group of 10 laboratories. I don't know why he resigned, but this is also not important. Sir David Attenborough was named as People's Advocate for Climate Change. Very important, very important news. The answer is that in National Geography, I hope you have heard this video series, documentary series. If you have not seen it, everybody who's listening live, kindly go and see National Geographic Earth series. Why am I saying that? Because it's not that you study for 10 hours per day and that's important. If you study for 12 hours per day, that's not important. You study for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. You see the series, documentaries which are very important. Like you see the Universe series by Earth. Earth series है इसका पूरा नाम, डेविड एटनबर्ग ने बनाई है। बहुत ही अच्छी, मतलब बेस्ट इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट जो जिसे कहते हैं, सारी की सारी सीरीज आप इन्हीं की आवाज में सुनते हैं। सो काइंडली गो। विशाल गुप्ता, आई थिंक देयर आर थ्री सीरीज, यू कैन सी लाइक 1 or 2 episodes per day, 1 episode per day. Like if you see the universe expanse, like Antarctic, complete white, then there is this like, वो जो कहते हैं ना इसको, कंटेंटमेंट का भाव आता है कि जो मुझे मिला है वो अच्छा है, इस पर मुझे और ऐड करना है। रेस किसी के साथ नहीं है, खुद को इंप्रूव करना है। So UN Climate Change Summit to be held in Glasgow, Scotland under the presidency of UK. अगर दूसरों से कंपेयर करते रहेंगे तो हीन भावना के अलावा कुछ भी नहीं मिलता है लाइफ में, कुछ नहीं मिलता है, क्योंकि कभी ना कभी कोई ना कोई आपसे ऊपर ही है। Abhay Tawari appointed as the MD and CEO of TAR Union Dai-ichi Life Insurance Company. Headquarter of Sud Life is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. MD and CEO is Abhay Tawari. Vandit Kaul is appointed as the government nominee director on the board of directors of Bank of India. Headquarter of Bank of India is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. CEO is Shri Atanu Kumar Das. Taru Saito appointed as the president and CEO of Mitsubishi Mahindra Agriculture Machinery. Headquarter of Mahindra Group is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. CEO is Anand Mahindra. Santoshi Uchada spotted after 100 years and is appointed as the new company head of Suzuki Motorcycle India Private Limited. Right? So ये I think गलत लिख दिया इन्होंने. Appointed Satoshi Urujida as the new company head. Spotted after 108 years. I think they have written it in from environment. They've done a mistake. So Santoshi Uchida has been appointed as the new headquarters of Suzuki Motorcycle India Private Limited. Alok Ranjan Jha as the next ambassador of India to Belarus. Important. Belarus के नए ambassador बनेंगे. Now coming to report, rank and service, India's export have increased, imports have increased, trade deficit increased. Not important to remember. Not important to remember because this does not remember at all. आप नहीं कर सकते इसको remember. State of Healthcare in India report released by housing.com, and Pune has ranked first among 8 major cities in health infrastructure related parameters. Lowest is Delhi because of very high inflation and population, and Pune is first among 8 major cities in health infrastructure. Wholesale price inflation index increased. Again, these kind of numbers and figures you don't have to remember. Just see them. Just for the purpose, okay, what is increasing, what is going down. That's all. And you see that because, hi Dhanvi Sharma. You see them because you need to answer the board. Okay, क्या inflation increase हो रही है, decrease हो रही है, अब इतना पता होना चाहिए. अब जी इन्फ्लेशन जी 10.645% इंक्रीज हो रही है या 10.645 या 456% इंक्रीज, इतना नहीं याद रह सकता ना आप याद रख सकते हैं इस चीज को, राइट. सो स्नो लेपर्ड रिसर्च रिपोर्ट है, ये वर्ल्ड वाइल्ड लाइफ फंड फॉर नेचर हैज सबमिटेड इट. 70% हैबिटेट ऑफ द स्नो लेपर्ड ओवर 12 एशियन कंट्रीज रिमेन अनसर्च्ड. Snow leopard is an animal which is found in Himachal Pradesh. Even I like this name. I was thinking of naming my cycle after this snow leopard, but since I have a black cycle, I named it as Panther. So, and because I drive very fast too. So the bike is I'm talking about cycling. So over this snow leopard research report, very shy animal, does not come out, very rare to spot it, comes out like for after 2 years, 3 years you can spot one animal. So very important research, right? India's first snow leopard conservation center is in Uttarakhand. Very important. Very important. Headquarter of WWF is in Gland, Switzerland. Director General is Marco Lambertini. MOEFCC, that is the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. 186 elephants were killed by these trains across India between 2009 and 2021. And Assam is the #1 state, West Bengal second, Odisha third. Important, because these kind of reports don't come, it has come after 10 years. So it's important that Assam, West Bengal and Odisha, against states which have high population ratios. See, the problem with India is not about resources, it's about population. We have a burgeoning population, right? And the moment, like let us say 2000 jobs are created, but there are 30 lakh people for it. 4,000 jobs are created, there are 4 crore people for it. That causes all the problems. We think like we made it, like after cracking the exam, but actually we made it. Thousands and lakhs of others didn't make it. And that's a systematic problem which keeps on coming. How to decrease it? First of all, coming out of this abundance mindset. Like you should have abundance mindset that I am rich and we will create rich society. We will create a society which is for wealth. Because in India, Lakshmi is only worshipped. It's not practiced in real life. It should be. Abundance is the rule of law. So deaths from heart disease increased by 42%, from stroke by 19%. Again, not very important, right? Bloomberg Billionaire Index, first is Jeff Bezos. Again, it keeps on changing. Bernard Arnault, Louis Vuitton's owner, Elon Musk, right? So not very important again. Global Trade Update is released by UNCTAD. Now this is very important. Global Trade Update released by UNCTAD. India, China, South Africa performed relatively better than other major economies during Q1 of 2021. Why did they perform better? Because that was the time of recovery from the first wave of COVID, right? And but now again the top companies which go for the global ratings, right? Let us say Moody's, they have lowered India's growth rate because India suffered heavily in 2 to 3 months for COVID second wave. Net Zero by 2050 report is released by International Energy Agency, and as per the report, EV's share should go more than 60% by 2030. Headquarter of IEA is in Paris, France. Executive Director is Dr. Fatih Birol. Member countries are 30. Vishal Gupta, I think you are online. Archana Saji is online. Most of the time, you know that why our strategy fails. Even other people who are online, most of the time our strategy fails for any exam because Indians are not disciplined by nature. By nature, they are not disciplined. They think that discipline will come automatically. It doesn't come, and you have to pay the price. So I am from Himachal Pradesh. The moment lockdown restrictions were lifted, Haryana and Punjab just thronged to Himachal. And the answer given is that we were feeling bored at house. But that's not the way. Like I will not say that, okay, that is not economically beneficial and all that stuff. But if the people would have been like understood, then there was no need for all these strict lockdown restrictions and all. So discipline is the way to clear exams, to learn GK and everything. Jharkhand has topped the centre's Smart City mission, ranking among 36 states and UTs. Second is Rajasthan. Rankings were released by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Smart City mission was launched in 2015. Another pet project of Narendra Modi. Important questions can come from it, that which state has launched atop the Smart City mission. The answer is Jharkhand. Karnataka is ranked first in establishing health and wellness centers under Ayushman Bharat program. First city is Karnataka. Karnataka is in news recently because Yediyurappa has been replaced. Nobody knows that who will be the next CM after him. Very strong leader. India has become the second largest insurance technology market in Asia Pacific. 35%. First is China. Total insurance premium in India was $107 billion. Insurance is necessary for Vishal. Insurance is necessary if you wish to transfer a car. So let us say that Archana Saji has bought a car and she wants to transfer it to Rohit Sharma. Then she needs to have a valid insurance for that. Third party insurance, full insurance, it doesn't matter. You need to have one insurance. So insurance is very, very booming market. Headquarter of S&P Global Ratings is in New York, USA. 2021 Global Report on Internal Displacement was released by the Internal Displacement Monitoring Center, and total number of people living in internal displacement reached a record 55 million by the end of 2020. And China has recorded the highest number of internally displaced people. Headquarter of IDMC is in Geneva, Switzerland. Director is Alexandra Bilak. Maybe. 57th Renewable Energy Country Attractive Index was released by Ernst & Young. First is US, second is China, third is India. India's installed solar PV capacity is increased to 39 gigawatt. Why is it in news? Because India is going very heavily on Paris Agreement details. Again, I will say that this inferiority complex comes in. Like India is a developing country, USA is a developed country, China is in it's mixed country. It has developed and it is developing. So China gives two hoots to Paris climate deal. USA gives too much importance because USA is the largest producer. India is giving too much importance to please the Western masters. So let us say that people in the live session, let us say that you wish to buy a new car. Name any car, let us say Hyundai Verna sedan. You will have to pay 2 lakh rupees more for the BS6 emission norm engine. Europe has not applied for Europe. All the European countries are not BS6. Some are BS5. China has not applied for it. All the other major economic countries are not applied for it. But India goes first, BS6 norm engine. It doesn't care that you have to pay 1.5 lakh extra for it. So that's foolishness. Headquarter of Ernst & Young is in London, UK. CEO is Carmen D. CBO. Kotak Mahindra headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. MD and CEO is Uday Kotak, and they have acquired 46.7% stake in Kohitra Mahindra Pension Fund. So this is basically an internal trade, and it requires the approval of SEBI. Let's go ahead. Adani Green Energy has acquired 100% stake of SBI Energy Holdings Limited for $3.5 billion. Now, why is Adani Energy going to increase? First, he has connections with the RSS. Second, he has connections within the ruling government and as well as the opposition government. Third, his all growth is backed by assets. Let us say कि आपको पैसा लगाना है, आप किस बंदे पे लगाओगे? उस बंदे पे लगाओगे ना जिसके पास बहुत सारी प्रॉपर्टी है. उसके ऊपर लेट अस से अगर कोई बिल्ड भी करेगा चीज़ को, मान लो नहीं भी चली तो प्रॉपर्टी का पैसा तो मिलेगा. So he is investing in airports, ports, green energy, because he knows that the government of India is quite a people pleaser and especially foreign government pleaser. So they will go for this environment deals very ferociously. That's why he is investing in these green energy projects, right? Headquarter of Adani Green Energy is in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. MD and CEO is Vineet S. Jain. Right? आगे चलते हैं. Government offered to sell its 58 million shares of Axis Bank through Suti to raise 4,000 crore. So government जो ये वाली government है, ये एक चीज़ बहुत अच्छी आई है जो आप लोगों को नहीं पता है कि we the people of India hereby to adopt ourselves to this constitution which is socialist, secular, democratic republic. अब socialist जो word है ना उससे कभी भी growth नहीं हो सकती है, because अगर आप 100 रुपये कमा रहे हैं और आप 10-10 रुपये दूसरे लोगों को ही दे रहे हैं, फ़ायदा क्या हुआ उस चीज़ को कमाने का? फिर हाईएस्ट टैक्सेस हैं इंडिया में. अगर आप गाड़ी ले रहे हैं अभी 100 रुपये का तेल हो चुका है ऑलमोस्ट. वाई? बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट हैज़ गो फॉर सोशल जस्टिस स्कीम्स. दे हैव टू गो फॉर टैक्सेस को, उनको कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर में भी नहीं लगाते हैं, उसको वो लगाते हैं रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर में. तो आप जो भी पैसा दे रहे हैं एक्स्ट्रा, दे गो फॉर गिविंग PDS दे दो, यहाँ से ये फ्री कर दो, ये लोन माफ़ कर दो. दे डोंट गो फॉर कैपिटल बिल्डिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स. एंड लाइक लेट अस से रोड्स. For roads also you are paying toll tax because they are not making those roads. That's not a capital expenditure. They are asking you to pay for those roads. So that's how it is. Let's go ahead. Cabinet Commission has approved the 100% acquisition of Yes Bank's mutual fund subsidiaries by GPL Finance and Investments. GPL Finance is also located in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Right? So GPL Finance and Investments is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Headquarters of CCI is in New Delhi. Chairman is Ashok Kumar Gupta, established in the year 2003. Let's go ahead. CCI has approved the remaining 25% stake of Krishnapatnam port by APZ. Again it has come. अगर आप ध्यान से देखें तो अदानी कृष्णपट्टनम पोर्ट के जो 25% रहते थे उसको भी एक्वायर कर लिया अदानी पोर्ट्स ने. Now the thing is this. Let us say that you are jealous of Adani or you think that Adani is growing rich. No, he's going by a strategy. He wishes to acquire all the ports as well as the airports, and he wishes to become the transport king. Like this vision will come after 10 years, right? Or 12 years, 15 years, but he will become. Why? Because he is going by strategy. Now the thing is that if you are preparing for an exam, let us say Sonu Huda or Vishal or Archana, what is your strategy? What is your X factor that why you should be selected, right? Like one strategy I can give that you have to remember that GK by this way or that way. But the other thing that other strategies you have to make paper wise, and you have to make a strategy change in paper also. if you have seen the Euro Cup, a person scores goal by seeing the position of the players accordingly. ऐसा नहीं होता है कि वो फॉर्मेशन के हिसाब से खेल रहा है, कभी कभी फॉर्मेशन से इधर उधर भी हो जाते हैं, जैसे बॉल आती है उसी हिसाब से गोल मारना पड़ता है. तो बहुत ज़रूरी होता है कि आप पेपर में कैसा परफॉर्म करते हैं ना, 50% तो पेपर वाले दिन पता लगता है बाबा दम है कि नहीं. ठीक है, सो वो उसी दिन पता लगेगा. आप जितने मर्जी मोटिवेशन सेशंस ले लीजिए, लेकिन जो एग्जैक्ट होता है ना कि प्रेशर सहने की कैपेसिटी है कि नहीं, मेन चीज़ ये है. क्योंकि सोने की परख प्रेशर सहने से ही पता लगती है. आप चाहोगे कोई प्रेशर नहीं है, कुछ नहीं होगा लाइफ में, यू विल नॉट मेक अ मार्क, बिकॉज मार्क करने के लिए भी बुलेट को हिट करना पड़ता है, बंदा मारने के लिए भी हिट करना पड़ता है. सो यू नीड टू हैव दैट, राइट. थैंक यू अर्चना, थैंक यू अर्चना. इफ़ यू लाइक द नॉलेज दैट आई गिव, और आई एम द मियर गिवर. नॉलेज तो बहुत बड़े बड़े लोग देते हैं, आप सिर्फ ट्यूटर का काम करते हैं. नाबार्ड और एनसीसीआई ने लॉन्च किया है इंडिया का फर्स्ट एग्रो एक्सपोर्ट फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर इन पुणे, महाराष्ट्र. नाउ हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ नाबार्ड मुंबई महाराष्ट्र में, हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ एमसीसीआई भी जो है पुणे महाराष्ट्र में है. द आंसर इज कि जो नाबार्ड ने लॉन्च किया इंडिया का पहला एग्रो एक्सपोर्ट फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर इन पुणे, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमारे देश के अंदर जो है अनाज सड़ जाता है, सड़ता रहता है क्योंकि कोल्ड स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं है, उसका प्रॉपर रिक्वायरमेंट हो जाता है, फिर उसको ना फड़ने दिया जाता है. रीज़न बीइंग करप्शन. जब वो सड़ जाता है तो उससे वो छोटी जो हल्की लेवल की दारू बारू है वो बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं, उसको देते नहीं है गरीबों को, उसको सड़ने देते हैं ताकि वो फर्मेंट हो जाए या कुछ इस तरीके की चीज़ जो है मैंने पढ़ी थी. तो उसका रीज़न भी है कि कोल्ड स्टोरेज फैसिलिटीज़ ही हमारे देश में नहीं है. लोग भूखे मर जाएं कोई बात नहीं, पर अनाज नहीं देना निकाल के, क्योंकि सरकार का ऑर्डर है कि नहीं देना है. और ये सरकारी तंत्र जो है ये बेसिकली क्यों हुआ, क्योंकि ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर हुआ. हम लोग बोलते हैं इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस मूवमेंट, इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस डे. नो, इट वॉज जस्ट अ ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर. The British Parliament passed an order, okay, the transfer of power has to be done according to the Mountbatten Plan. In 1946, I think it came. And according to the Mountbatten Plan, Pakistan was created, transfer of power was done. Where is the Indian independence movement? Like, वो नहीं हुआ ना. जो ब्रिटिशर्स जब हार गए, पूरा जर्मनी से पूरा पावर हार चुके हैं, सब कुछ खत्म है, जब कुछ बचा ही नहीं है कंट्रोल करने के लिए, तो वो गए, राइट. सो इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस मूवमेंट पे चाहने वाले लोगों को यही कहूँगा कि थोड़ा फैक्ट्स अगर देखेंगे हम तो जानेंगे कि ट्रांसफर ऑफ पावर हुआ था फ्रॉम इंग्लिश कॉलोनियल मास्टर्स टू ब्राउन कॉलोनियल मास्टर्स. इसका एक एग्जांपल मैं आपको देता हूँ, लॉ फील्ड के अंदर तो बहुत क्लियर है. लेट अस से दैट यू हैव योर राइट्स. एवरीबडी नोज इन द पॉलिटी सेक्शन दैट इट इज प्रोटेक्टेड बाय द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया. But what is the Supreme Court of India? It's merely a colonial institution, the haggard of a colonial institution. Now let us say that you are in Delhi. What clothes you will wear? You will wear loose and light clothes because Delhi is very hot, almost 9 months of the year. But what are the advocates supposed to wear there? They are supposed to wear a coat, they are supposed to wear a tie, they are supposed to wear a gown, and then they are supposed to say in the court of law. Why? Because British used to do that. अरे बाबा, British used to do that in Britain as well as they used to do it in Shimla. It is my city. Why they used to do in Shimla? Because Shimla always remains cold. They didn't used to do it in Delhi. But the inferiority complex is so much. Because of that, they go. You get my point? That's why the decisions don't come accordingly. Even जो आपके एग्जाम के decisions भी हैं, बॉडीज कोई भी डिसीजन करती रहती हैं, उसके ऊपर सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोई क्यों डिसीजन क्यों नहीं लेता? क्योंकि आप तो कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट में ही स्टीप्ड इन है ना. समझ रहे हैं आप? मतलब वो जो जज बैठा है वो कोट पैंट पहन के बैठा हुआ है और धोती कुर्ता में बंदा आ रहा है न्याय मांगने के लिए. क्या न्याय करेगा वो तो आपकी ट्रेडिशन से भी मतलब आंखें फेर चुका है वहां से. समझ रहे हैं? तो इसलिए जो देश के सामाजिक तत्व हैं ना, उनको पहले कल्चर, फ्रॉम कल्चर कम्स दी पॉलिटिक्स. वो बहुत ज़रूरी होता है कि आप देखें इसको, पढ़ें जीके को, और जीके पढ़ के आप ये देखें कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं अपने लेवल पे. वो जो गिलहरी है ना जो श्री राम का पुल बनाती है वहाँ पे श्रीलंका में, उसकी तरह बनने की कोशिश करें. ये ना सोचे कि बहुत बड़ा काम कर दूंगा तो फेमस. अरे आप छोटा सा भी काम करें, अपने जो आपकी कैपेसिटी में है ना उसको करें. लोग कहते हैं कि धर्मा फॉलो करना बड़ा मुश्किल है. आप अपना स्टूडेंट धर्मा फॉलो करें, डिसिप्लिन रहें, क्लासेस डिसिप्लिन पे अटेंड करें और आंसर्स करें. स्मार्टकीडा का करें, किसी और सीरीज कर रहे हैं, जो भी कर रहे हैं आप उसके साथ ऑनेस्ट रहें. रैंक से ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि आपका प्रोसेस कैसा है. अगर आपका प्रोसेस अच्छा है ना तो फिर आपकी रैंक निकल जाएगी. और प्रोसेस अगर ऐसे ही है तो तुक्के का वेट करते रहो, फिर जिंदगी भर कभी नहीं आएगा वो तुक्का. सो लेट्स गो अहेड. Right. So thank you Bhagavat Nayak. So PayPoint India and Digi General Insurance are going to provide COVID-19 health insurance policy to undeserved and rural areas. Coverage of health policies up to rupees 2 lakh. Headquarter of PayPoint is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. MD is Ketan Doshi. Headquarter of Digit Insurance is in Bengaluru, Karnataka. CEO is Vijay Kumar. Can anybody in the live group say who is the brand ambassador of Digit Insurance? डिजिट इंश्योरेंस का ब्रांड एम्बेसडर कौन है? हु इज द ब्रांड एम्बेसडर? आई हैव कवर्ड इट इन द अर्लियर करंट अफेयर सेशन. देखिए करंट अफेयर सेशंस को देखना ही नहीं है, उन्हें पढ़ना भी है. तो डिजिट इंश्योरेंस का जो अपना अभी ब्रांड एम्बेसडर है वो है विराट कोहली. मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स एंड माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने एक एमओयू साइन किया फॉर डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑफ ट्राइबल स्कूल्स. Again, this comes Eklavya model residential schools and ashram schools. Microsoft will make AI curriculum available to tribal students in both English and Hindi. So Ministry of Tribal Affairs है, अर्जुन मुंडा है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी खुंटी झारखंड में. अब मैं यहाँ पे कुछ बोलूंगा तो फिर लोगों को ऐसा लगेगा कि सर ये बड़ा कंट्रोवर्शियल ओपिनियन है, या लोग ऐसा सोच सकते हैं, बट हर एक पर्सन को अपने विचार रखने की आज़ादी है. नॉर्मली जैसे जब मैं एकलव्य को बचपन में देखता था तो मुझे लगता था कि गुरु द्रोणाचार्य ने ऐसे कैसे मांग लिया, मतलब कि अंगूठा तो मांगना ही नहीं चाहिए था. जैसे होता है ना, हम इमोशनल आर्ग्यूमेंट्स देखते हैं. बट अगर हम टेक्निकली देखें तो जो एकलव्य था वो फॉरेन कंट्री से था, मतलब उस टाइम पे ही वॉज नॉट ऑफ द सेम कंट्री एंड ही वॉज टेकिंग एजुकेशन विदाउट हैविंग द परमिशन, वे आर हैविंग आर्चरी इंफॉर्मेशन. तो जो महाभारत है उसके अंदर बहुत ग्रे एरियाज आते हैं कि क्या आप अपने एनिमी कंट्री को या एनिमी देश के बंदे को आर्चरी सिखाओगे, क्योंकि द्रोणाचार्य जो थे वो तो राज्य आश्रित थे, उनके पैसे दे रहा था कुरु साम्राज्य. सो वो तो पढ़ा ही नहीं सकते थे एकलव्य को उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज उनका काम था कि आपने जो राजकुल घराने के जो लोग हैं आपने उनको सिखाना है अपना जो धनुष विद्या और ये सब वॉट एवर स्टफ. सो उसमें एकलव्य ले ही नहीं सकता था. दैट्स अनदर इंटरप्रिटेशन फॉर दैट महाभारत. सम इंटरप्रिटेशन है कि ही डिड अ वेरी रॉन्ग थिंग. आई थिंक दैट हैज़ टू बी डन इन दैट ग्रे एरियाज में आता है पूरा का पूरा. सो इसे एकलव्य स्कूल में रखा गया बिकॉज ही वॉज फ्रॉम अ ट्राइबल फैमिली. सो टू कॉमेमोरेट हिज डेडिकेशन कि उन्होंने दे दिया गुरु ने जो मांगा, तो उसके लिए वो फेमस हो गए उसके नाम से भी. सो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विल मेक AI करिकुलम अवेलेबल टू ट्राइबल स्टूडेंट्स इन बोथ इंग्लिश एंड हिंदी. Telangana and NHA have signed an MOU for implementation of the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya scheme. Health insurance coverage under the scheme is 5 lakh. Telangana's capital is Hyderabad. CM is K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Governor is Tamilsai Soundarajan. Very, very easy. Dun and Bradstreet Info Services India have signed an MOU to promote the growth of Indian SMEs. Right? Mumbai, Maharashtra is the capital. MD is Avinash Gupta. Headquarter of BSC is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Chairman is Sethu Raman Ravi. Philip Roth, the biography book is authored by Blakely, publisher is Sky Horse Publishing Inc. And it was pulled last month amid allegations of sexual assault and harassment against biographer Blake Bailey. Right? K. Raghunatham, a retired CBI officer, passed away. He's passed of the Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. And his books, very famous books, were Conspiracy to Kill Rajiv Gandhi and Third Degree Crime Investigation Management. He was awarded Police Medal in 1988 and Police Presidential Medal for Distinguished Service in 1994. Dr. K.K. Agarwal, physician and cardiologist, passed away. Received Padma Shri in the field of medicine. Other awards were described as below. B.C. Roy National Award is the highest award given in the field of medicine, given by the president. K.K. Rajayan, a Tamil writer, passed away. He was awarded Sahitya Academy Award for his novel Gopala Puruthu Makkal. Chaman Lal Gupta, politician, passed away. Party BJP, constituency Udhampur, J&K. Rajendra Jadeja, former Saurashtra cricketer, passed away. He represented West Zone in Duleep Trophy. Again, not that important. Rajiv Sattar, politician, passed away. INC. There's nothing important in it, so there's nothing to explain because politicians come and go. We have to think always about our nation. वो जैसे कहते हैं ना कि अपना भीष्म जो है अपने मृत्युशैया पे युधिष्ठिर को कहते हैं that the kings come and go, but his first liability or first duty is towards the nation. Jagannath Pahadia, politician, passed away. And Rajasthan's capital Jaipur, CM is Ashok Gehlot, Governor Kalraj Mishra. He was the former CM of Rajasthan and Governor of Haryana and Bihar. Baljit Kaur Gunaba Sharma became the first Indians to reach the summit of Mount Pomori. Mount Pomori is located in Nepal and very, very important. They are first Indian to scale a mountain that is a part of Everest Massif. Tashi Yangjom became the first Indian woman to scale Mount Everest in 2021. First in 2021. Because due to COVID, it was lockdown. Capital is Itanagar. CM Pema Khandu. Governor B.D. Mishra. New species of rhesus snake named Plastips josephi discovered in Tuticorin. It was discovered after the late herpetologist Naveen Joseph. New species of Asian gracile scale named Pseudolops nigricans discovered in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu's capital is Chennai. CM is Stalin, MK Stalin. Governor is Banwari Lal Purohit. Jupiter's Justice Technologies have developed the world's first private digital court. It was developed through ADR mechanism, right? And ADR is alternative dispute resolution, negotiation, mediation, reconciliation. Dispute comes in it. China has successfully launched a new ocean monitoring satellite named Haiyang 2D. Satellite was launched by Long March 4B rocket. China's capital is Beijing. Renminbi is the currency. President is Xi Jinping. Doria's foam nesting tree frog spotted after 108 years in Poleng Wildlife Sanctuary. Mizoram's capital is Aizawl. CM is Zormathanga. Governor is P.S. Sridharan Pillai. BEML has launched the first prototype of mechanical minefield marking equipment, and it is going to operate in Punjab and Rajasthan. And nothing very important, you just have to remember that who has launched this equipment and not. And I think we are coming to the end. United Launch Alliance successfully launched a missile warning satellite called Space-Based Infrared System Geosynchronous Earth Orbit. Very important from the US Space Force. Why? You know what is the fifth force of US? Now it is the US Space Force. And why have they made it? Because again, strategy. Now they know that the other attacks are going to come from the US space, or it is going to come from international space. So they have made a US Space Force, and they are making this missile warning satellite for the US built by Lockheed Martin. World's largest and most powerful space telescope, James Webb Telescope, was developed by NASA. Headquarters of NASA is in Washington, D.C., USA. Administrator is Jim Bridenstine, founded in the year 1958. I hope there's nothing left. I think this is the end of the series. If you have any questions, kindly answer. I will try my level best to answer that. Kindly give the thing. I will try to answer that. So the session has ended. If anybody has any doubt, I can answer. Sonu Huda, you had something. Sonu Huda, you can also type in the comment section after the video has ended and it is uploaded. Any questions related to GK, I am ready to answer. प्रेसिडेंट्स नेम कैसे याद रहें? विशाल, प्रेसिडेंट जैसे ये जो आते रहते हैं 2-3 बार याद करने पे क्या होता है कि वहाँ पे फर्स्ट मिरर मेमोरी होती है, वहाँ पे ना हिट हो जाता है आपको. ऐसे एकदम से सब कुछ याद नहीं रहता है. मतलब आप जब मॉक ड्रिल रिवाइज भी करेंगे तो भी लगेगा कि नहीं आता है, बट वहाँ पे ना फर्स्ट मेमोरी हिट करती है. आपको 3 बार पढ़ना है, बस 3 बार पढ़ना है. दैट्स इट. यू जस्ट हैव टू रिमेंबर 3 टाइम्स. दैट्स ऑल. एंड वहाँ पे फिर वो होता है जैसे आपका एक सिक्स्थ सेंस होता है ना, वो हिट करता है जीके के अंदर. ऐसे ही याद रहता है. कभी भी ऐसा नहीं होता, कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जिसको पूरी जीके याद हो जाए. ऐसा होता ही नहीं. जीके बहुत वास्ट होती है ना, हो ही नहीं सकता. या और कुछ है, और कुछ चाहेंगे आप लोग तो बताइए. मॉक ड्रिल्स के अंदर और कैसे किया जा सकता है? बहुत ज़्यादा सेल्फ मतलब वो सब नहीं मेरे को पसंद ही नहीं है. मतलब वो शायद मैं उस तरीके से कभी करूँगा नहीं कि लाइक कर दीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, ये कर दीजिए, वो कर दीजिए. अल्टीमेटली ये आप डिसिप्लिन रहिए और पढ़ाई कीजिए ढंग से, उसमें निकलेगा पेपर. लाइक सब्सक्राइब करने से किसी और को आपका पेपर नहीं निकलता. वो सब लोग अपनी सेल्फ प्रमोशन करते रहते हैं. लाइक कीजिए, सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, मेरे चैनल से निकलेगा आपका पेपर. नहीं, आपका पेपर निकलेगा जब आप बैठेंगे पढ़ने के लिए. ऐसे उसके बिना निकल नहीं सकता. तो मैं उस तरीके से तो नहीं पढ़ा सकता हूँ, मैं इसी तरीके से पढ़ाऊंगा. अगर कोई आपके सुझाव हैं तो आप प्लीज़ दीजिए, मैं उसमें इम्प्रूव करूँगा, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट मॉक ड्रिल में आएगा. रिपोर्ट्स में रैंकिंग्स याद रखना बहुत मुश्किल होती है सर. हाँ डेफिनेटली अर्चना, मुश्किल तो होती है. उसकी ना जैसे यहाँ पे जो क्लैट के बच्चे देते हैं, बिकॉज देखो मेमोरी तो 18 साल के बच्चे की भी, 21 साल के भी जो हैं, 24 साल के भी हैं. मैं एक चीज़ कहूँगा, वो लोग चार्ट बनाते थे हर रिपोर्ट में रैंकिंग क्या रही है इंडिया की और कैसे वो आगे गई है. इसमें अगर आप सर्च करेंगे ना, मैं नाम नहीं ले सकता हूँ क्योंकि मैं ऑफिशियल चैनल पे हूँ, बट आप जैसे ऐसे सर्च करना रैंकिंग एंड रिपोर्ट्स IAS, तो आपको मिल जाएगा चार्ट बना बनाया. इतनी मैं आपकी हेल्प कर देता हूँ अनऑफिशियली. ऑफिशियल चैनल से अनऑफिशियल हेल्प। ठीक है, आपको चार्ट बना बनाया मिल जाएगा, या तो आप हाथ से बना लो या आप वैसे कर दो। रिपोर्ट एंड रैंकिंग्स IAS। और कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछिए। सोनू हुड्डा जी गायब है अब, जब क्वेश्चंस पूछने की बारी आए तो गायब हो जाते हैं। ठीक, एनीथिंग एल्स दिए गाइस? अगर कुछ नहीं है तो फिर मैं इसमें चलता हूँ। आई होप आपको लेक्चर अच्छा लगा और एवरीथिंग वाज गुड इन इट। ठीक है, थैंक यू प्रोफाउंड नॉलेज। आई थिंक बहुत सिनोनिम्स और एंटोनिम्स याद कर रहे हो विशाल। ठीक है, मेरी तरफ से बेस्ट विशेस आप सबको। गुड नाइट। कल और मॉक ड्रिल्स के साथ आऊँगा, अब पूरी तरह मेडिकली फिट हूँ, सो काइंडली अब रेडी रहना। मतलब मैं मॉक ड्रिल्स खत्म करूँगा 4 दिन के अंदर अंदर। आई विल डेफिनेटली फिनिश इट। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच, हैव अ नाइस टाइम।